Hello everyone, and welcome back to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. Today we're diving into a topic that has taken over timelines and fan groups, leaving even the most dedicated followers stunned. A development no one predicted, a whisper that grew into a wave, talk of Özge Yağız stepping away from the screen, right when her career seems to burn its brightest. The shock is real, the questions are many, and the emotions are running high. We're going to unpack the rumors, the possible motivations, and what this could mean for her, for Gökberk Demirci, and for the millions who have watched their journey with admiration and curiosity. Before we go further, a quick reminder, subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets, hit that red button, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. We know you love staying ahead of the curve on everything happening in Turkish showbiz, and today's story is one you'll want to discuss. Let's get to it. The murmur about Özge Yağız considering a pause, or even a full stop, has blindsided fans. She's one of the most recognizable faces of her generation, a performer whose quiet intensity has translated into unforgettable roles and a devoted following at home and abroad. And there's the added layer that has always fueled the public's fascination, her complex, magnetic, and very human relationship with Gökberk Demirci. Together, they've been a chapter the audience never stopped reading, whether their story was unfolding on set or beyond it. And yet, here we are, facing a possibility few dared to consider. For the moment, there is no official announcement from Özge, from her team, or from Gökberk. No joint statement, no definitive post. What there is, however, is a steady stream of reports, suggestive comments from industry insiders, and a noticeable pause in the usual chatter that surrounds new scripts and upcoming shoots. It's as if a door has quietly shut in the background, and everyone is listening to hear whether the latch will click. What might be behind this? First, the simplest and most human reason, exhaustion. Television is not gentle. Days that kick off before the sunrise, nights that end long after a city goes to sleep. Rehearsals, retakes, location changes, interviews, public expectations, and the persistent hum of social media. Add to that a relationship constantly framed under the brightest light, every look, every unfollow, every reunion speculation, and the pressure multiplies. It's not difficult to imagine how a person, even a seasoned professional like Özge, could ask herself if she needs a breath, a stretch of quiet, a season that isn't filmed. Second, the desire to grow in a new way. There have been whispers that Özge has been reading scripts very different from the ones we associate with her, that she's curious about the intimacy of independent cinema, the discipline of theater, even the control that comes with producing. There's talk of a streaming project that would allow her to explore the kind of layered character arcs that don't always fit into the rhythm of long-running series. And yes, some say there have been conversations about a project that would bring her and Gökberk together on screen again, something deliberately crafted, where both could stretch beyond the roles audiences expect of them. Third, the pull of personal life. Anyone who has watched the arcs of public couples knows that love under a spotlight needs care. Özge and Gökberk are no strangers to public scrutiny, to rumors that run ahead of reality, to the weight of fans' hopes. After everything they've lived, chapters open and closed, moments of distance followed by gestures that reignite speculation, it would be entirely understandable if they chose, for a while, to prioritize time that belongs only to them. Dinners without cameras waiting outside. Long drives with no destination. A home that feels like a harbor, not a set. For some, that kind of calm is the path back to themselves. For others, it becomes the start of something new. Regardless of the reason, such a decision by Özge would be bold. Television would miss her. Stories would feel a little quieter without the particular electricity she brings to the screen. And yet, it would also be a declaration. That health matters, that the heart has its own clock, that a career is not merely a ladder but a landscape with many roads. People close to the couple say Gökberk has been the steady voice at her side, that he's the one reminding her that slowing down is not the same thing as stepping away from who she is. He knows the rhythm, he's walked the same sets, carried the same pressures. In some versions of the rumor, he too is considering rebalancing his schedule to make room for an unfilmed life. On social media, reactions have been swift. The first wave was disbelief, quickly followed by floods of comments that mingle sorrow with respect. There are fans reminiscing about the first time they saw her on screen, the scenes that stuck to their ribs, the interviews where her laughter felt like a promise. There are those who ship her and Gökberk, who call them by the nicknames fan pages invented, declaring that if the choice is about love and well-being, they'll stand behind it. It's a tender chorus, proof that admiration can be generous, not just hungry. Industry watchers add another layer: breaks in this world are not always forever. Many artists step away only to return with new hunger, different priorities, and boundaries that make the work more luminous. If Özge does take time, it might be the prelude to a renaissance. Imagine a film festival premiere where her name is whispered with awe, or a streaming series built around a role no one else could carry. Picture a thoughtful drama that reunites her and Gökberk on their own terms, the kind of story that honors what they've learned and who they have become. If this decision becomes real, it will be a pivot point. Networks will adjust their calendars. Directors will reimagine casts. Producers will wait a little longer for the perfect alignment. And through it all, the couple at the center will be asked, silently and loudly, to keep giving pieces of their private lives to satisfy curiosity. Perhaps the greatest act of defiance will be not to hold what is theirs. To appear when they choose and disappear when they need to. To let the work speak only when it's ready. As for legacy, that is safe. Özge has already etched her place in the collective memory of viewers. There are scenes people revisit like comfort food, lines they can recite without looking, moments that feel like someone put their own heart on the screen. And for Gökberk, his path, too, has been a study in steady, soulful choices, the kind that build trust with an audience. Together, their story, messy, luminous, real, has become part of the culture they helped shape. Even if the camera goes dark for a while, what they've done won't dim. For now, we wait. We breathe with them. We resist the urge to fill the silence with noise. If an announcement comes, we'll read it. If it doesn't, we'll watch the signs with care and restraint. In a world where every pause is treated like a cliffhanger, perhaps this is the reminder we needed: not everything is content. Some of it is life. To pull the threads together, the rumors of Özge Yağız considering a pause or retirement have sparked surprise and intense debate. Nothing is official. The most plausible explanations align with what so many artists eventually face: burnout, hunger for new creative terrain, or the desire to nourish the personal over the public. In each version, Gökberk Demirci is part of the picture, either as a quiet constant or as a partner in whatever comes next. And in each version, the core is the same: a woman choosing her path carefully, a couple protecting what matters, a fanbase learning to support not only the work but the human being behind it. So here's what we do from our side. We celebrate what has been, we keep the door open for what might be, and we send good wishes into the space between. If a break leads to a powerful return, we'll be right here. If it leads to a new kind of artistry, we'll be ready to follow. And if it leads to a season of privacy, we'll practice the respect we always say artists deserve. Tell us what you think. Do you believe Özge will truly step back, or is this a momentary pause before a daring new chapter? What would you like to see if she and Gökberk choose a project together, something intimate and grounded, or something epic and unexpected? Share your thoughts below, and keep the conversation generous. And if this deep dive helped you understand the moment a little better, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Turkish Spotlight Secrets. We'll keep our ear to the ground and our eyes on the horizon, and when there's something real to tell you, you'll hear it here first. Until then, take care of yourselves the way you want your favorites to take care of themselves. Sometimes the bravest move is to rest. Sometimes the brightest light is the one that waits.